Hey guys, how are you? Sorry about the lack of shaving. Very busy, guys, today. Just trying to find a way to. I had to watch the matches and, you know, run from one thing to the other, watch the matches, and then give you my analysis. But, I'll always find a way to fit you guys in, even though I don't have a lot of time to do other things. So, don't worry. Next time I'm going to have a lot more time and probably do a better video. But in the small time I have, I'm going to preview the Indian Wells final for you. Um, but firstly, I'm just going to go through the semi-finals we've seen. Fritz against Bashashvili. I mean, they were both 7-6, 6-3 in favor of Bashashvili. I mean, they were both quite equal. Um, But yeah, both of these players I would say were quite equal. And but the first set, the tiebreak, I mean, it almost came down to a bit of a luck. Bashashvili hit an amazing winner, and then followed by a poor error, and then sorry about that, guys. Yeah, and then um, a great winner and a poor error, and we had 5 points all. Then hit a great forehand cross court, powerful shot, forced error, 6 points to five. And then that was a bit of a critical moment at 6 points to five when Fritz made the error, and then he's getting the first set. And then, so really, that kind of play just came down to him hitting one powerful forehand across court and getting a forced error. So that was one aspect of the tie break, which got him the first set. The other one was the error for Fritz, and then the service break. I mean, he hit a great backhand sort of down the line winner, and then Fritz hit a double. It's love 30. Then it gets back to 30 all, and then he hits a really hard return of a Fritz second serve. Too powerful. Fritz can't really react. And then he hits another great return on the back line. So it was just those shots like the backhand down the line, the great forehand powerful return, and then the backhand return on the back line with the double. And that's enough to get the break. And then it was just about holding serve, serving it out, yeah, serving it out. It was just a bit of a it was a bit of a tough one, winners and errors, but just did enough to end it, and then he gets the win there. So that's it. Bashashvili's in the final of Indian Wells. So the other semi-final was Cameron Norrie versus Dimitriov. So Norrie wins this 6-2, 6-4. Yep, that's it. 6-2, 6-4 to Norrie, and I just felt like Norrie's playing at a great level, like controlling the court, aggressive yet consistency, moving Dimitriov around, and then just, getting more control, aggressiveness, but not going for too much, like he needs to end it on the very first shot, but not also being too patient where he's just keeping the ball in the court and letting the other guy dictate. No, he was controlling the rallies, moving Dimitrov around, making the most that he doesn't have elite movement. Gregor Dimitriov, right? And then just consistency and power and controlling the rallies and few errors. Whereas Dimitrov was trying to stop being bossed around in those rallies, had to go for it early in the point, go for the line, and that caused him to go for too much, make errors. And then when he tried with more safety and patience, then Nori would move him around and control the rallies. And it was just good consistency and power in controlling the rallies. And then also Dimitriov not wanting to be bossed around in the rallies, going for too much to end the point too early, so he can be in control of the rallies, but then that creating errors. So I think those two facets control the match. Um, and yeah, I just think like when I look back at this match, I just think that Norrie played, quite well. Yeah, like if I go back to the sort of the first service break, yeah, he hit a couple of really good shots there. I mean, he was broken back, and then yeah, I mean, it was just a whole lot of good shots from Norrie, and then some errors from Dimitriov. But I just think that I just think it was just coming down to that, really, just coming down to Norrie's more consistency, less errors, was able to have enough power to control the rallies and move Dimitriov around. Good return of served well. I mean, just a very good level from Norrie. And then Dimitrov was in a choice, either be bossed around in the rallies or go for too much to get control over the rallies and then hit errors. And neither work. The errors are not working, obviously, and then playing it safe, being bossed around in those rallies by Norrie. So way too good for Cameron Norrie, and not quite good enough for Gregor Dimitrov. But if you're in a situation where the other guy's in a rally, moving you around and controlling the rallies, you're always in the run, they're standing in the middle is a problem. Then when you have to end the point on the first or second shot, go for too much and it's low percentage and there's errors, that also doesn't work. So yeah, that's what the match came down to. So now let's get on and let's review this Indian Wells final as what the video says the title is about. Um, so it's going to be Norrie versus Bashashvili. Now, for me, it's a very complicated final because Bashashvili has got way more power than Norrie. So if he just goes for it, he'll overpower Norrie. And he'll be standing in the middle. Norrie will be running. And Norrie just won't have the firepower to match him on the serve or the rally shots. And it'll just be sorry about that, guys. So yeah, it'll just be like Bashashvili overpowering Norrie, moving him around, getting more free points on the serve with the better serve, starting more points ahead because he's got a better serve. And just if he's on fire, he will just overpower Norrie. And Norrie just won't have the firepower that he has. So it's just going to be a situation where it's rallies, but Bash is feeling more power, more winners, more firepower, controlling the rallies, moving Norrie around, and Norrie just won't match him. He'll just be flat out moved around, out hit, overpowered, have way more winners from Bashashvili, and Norrie will just try to play that consistent defensive game, but he'll just be pushed around and running around, and then in the end, Bashashvili will just hit it too hard to where he can't even get the ball back, right? So yeah, that's what I really think is going to happen. I mean, if he's on fire, he'll just blow him off the court with winners and rallies where he's just overpowering and moving him around until he finishes it off with the winner. And Norrie won't match the power, won't be able to compete with the winners, won't match him on the serve, will just be blown off the court, overpowered, dominated, be moved around until Bashashvili eventually ends the point, and he just won't be able to compete with the firepower. That's if Bashashvili is on fire, but because he has more power. But then Norrie is more consistent. So if Bashashvili is not on fire, what you could see is Bashashvili. Yeah, you could see Bashashvili getting impatient, going for too much, getting sick of it that Norrie doesn't make any errors, keeps playing great defense and asks him one more shot, one more shot, and then just gets frustrated and goes for too much. So you could very well see that. Because Norrie is better at defense, he is more consistent in the rallies, he does make less errors. So if Bashashvili is not on, what we'll see in this match is Norrie the more consistent, the better defense, the better in rallies, and Bashashvili not being able to stay in those rallies, so have to go for too much too early in the point and making too many errors. In such a case, Norrie wins. But then if Bashashvili just goes for it and he's hot, he just overpowers Norrie, like I said, and he's moving Norrie around, dictating all the points, and he's just standing in the middle while Norrie's running and just blowing off the court with winners. And Norrie just can't compete with the power, blowing off the court with his serve, out serving Norrie. So the whole thing of this match just comes down to one thing, right? Bashashvili, Norrie is going to play consistent and defense. Bashashvili is going to go for it and try to shorten the points. When Bashashvili is going for it, right, is he going for it and making a whole bunch of errors and going for too much and losing patience with Norrie's consistency and defense, right? Is that happening? Or is it where he's just a day where he's on fire and he's overpowering Norrie and blowing off the court? So the whole thing comes down to Norrie's definitely with consistency. Norrie's definitely with a better defense. Norrie's the better rallier. Bashashvili recognizing that and just going for broke with power. If he gets hot and it's one of those days where they all land in, he's overpowering Norrie. But if he doesn't have one of those great days, then he's going for too much, losing patience, can't stay in the rally and hitting all these errors, and Norrie's out rallying him, right? So the whole match just comes down to that one fact, right? So it's really hard to predict. Will Bashashvili, when we know he's going to attack and hit the ball hard, shorten the point, but will it be a day where he's on fire and hits winners and blows Norrie off the court? Or will it be a day where he loses patience, can't stay in the rally, goes for too much, and hits a whole lot of errors? That's what's decided this match. And with a hot and cold player like Bashashvili, you really can't know what's going to happen. So it'll just be a guess from anyone, right? But for me, I think overall he's been a bit hot and cold. So probably likely to be hot and cold in that. He going for it, hitting a lot of winners, but a lot of errors. And then Norrie just being a bit too consistent in the rally, a bit too good defensively. And even when Bashashvili hits two great powerful shots, Norrie running him down and asks for a third. And likely, if Bashashvili doesn't have the consistency on his shots, he gets frustrated and goes for too much. There are times where they're all landing in and he's overpowering Norrie, right? That is happening in this match. But then there's also times when, with Norrie getting every ball back, playing great defense, he just gets frustrated and goes for too much. So the question is, if he's going to be in and out, what's going to happen more, right? I say the fact because Norrie is playing really good and actually aggressive to actually move Bashashvili around where he doesn't like to be. The fact that he's got the defense and the consistency, and he's going to ask Bashashvili one too many times to have to hit 3 or 4 good shots every time to win rallies. For me, he won't have the consistency to stand up for that. And then also with Norrie being more aggressive in the rallies, he can move Bashashvili around where he won't be in a good position to attack. For those two reasons, I just think Norrie's going to beat him with consistency. Going to beat him with better defense. Going to out rally him. Going to ask him to hit 3, 4 great shots too many times, and he's going to, in those rallies, be aggressive and move Bashashvili around where he can't really attack and there's not good defense. So for that, I'm just going to say Norrie's going to just get by, but it's going to depend on Bashashvili as he goes for the power game, as he tries to shorten the point. Is he more hot than cold? It's hard to predict, but like I said, with Norrie defending so well, playing so consistent in the rallies, and being aggressive and moving around, putting him in positions where he can't attack, it'll be just a bit too much for him, and it'll be just a bit more off than on. and he'll just fall short. And Norrie would just be a bit too consistent for him, a bit too good defensively, and moving around just a bit too much where he's not in good positions to attack, and he will get over the line. But it's just going to come down to Bashashvili being hot and cold. Is he more hot or more cold? But I'm going to say probably more cold, and because Norrie's going to do a great job rallying, consistency, defense, no errors and moving him around. It's just going to be a bit too much, and Bashashvili won't quite have the consistency to do it. But it's just going to, he has the ability to do it. If he gets hot, he'll do it. But I'm saying it's just going to be a bit too tough with the consistency defense and Norrie moving around, taking him out of position. That Norrie's going to just be a bit too good with, like I said, the rally game, the defense, the moving around, the more aggressive Norrie. Just a bit too tough, and he's just going to have to be a bit too consistent for too long. Bashashvili, he's going to just miss out, and Norrie's just going to be too good with the defense, the rallying, the moving around, the aggression in the rally, and Norrie's going to get away with this in 3 sets, but 3 close sets, right? But it all comes down to Bashashvili. But I'm saying Norrie's getting this 2-1, 3 very close sets, close, tough match. But Cameron Norrie will be your 2021 Indian World Champion. That's my video for today. I'll be back in a couple of days. I'm going to review the tournament. I'm trying to interview Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, so be back for that. But definitely please subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. I've got so much content coming up. Videos on the GOAT debate, just so many things. And then in a couple of days, I'll be reviewing this final. But I'm saying Norrie just gets by, so subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Be back here for my next video. Bye for now. Bye, guys. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget to subscribe, and bye for now.